Most people spend 40 years working for money and never once stop to learn how money actually works. These 5 books changed that for me. Not just how I invest, not just how I save, but how I think about wealth at a fundamental level. If you're serious about building financial freedom, these are the books you need to read first. My name is Rich Pages, and this channel exists for one reason: to distill the most powerful financial knowledge in the world into content you can actually use. Let's get into it. Book 1, Rich Dad Poor Dad, 045 to 215. Robert Kiyosaki. The first book on this list is probably the most controversial, but it's controversial because it challenges everything you were taught about money growing up. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The core idea is simple but powerful. Poor and middle-class people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. Kiyosaki grew up with 2 father figures. His biological father, educated, hardworking, always broke. His best friend's father, a school dropout who became a millionaire. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't even hard work. It was financial education. The book introduces one concept that alone is worth the read: the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Most people think their house is an asset. Kiyosaki argues it's a liability because it costs you money every month. Whether you agree with him or not, this book will force you to look at money differently. Book 2, The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel. If Rich Dad, Poor Dad is about what to do with money, The Psychology of Money is about why we make the decisions we do. Written by Morgan Housel, this book is different from most finance books. There are no spreadsheets, no formulas, no investment strategies. Instead, it asks a simple question: why do smart people make terrible financial decisions? The answer: because money is not about math, it's about behavior. One of the most powerful lessons from this book: getting wealthy and staying wealthy are 2 different skills. Getting wealthy requires taking risks, being optimistic, putting yourself out there. Staying wealthy requires the opposite: humility, patience, and fear of losing what you have. Another idea that stuck with me: your financial decisions are shaped by when and where you were born. Someone who grew up during the Great Depression sees money completely differently than someone who grew up during a bull market. Neither is wrong. They just have different experiences. This book will make you more self-aware about your own relationship with money, and that self-awareness is worth more than any investment strategy. Book 3, The Intelligent Investor, Benjamin Graham. This is the book Warren Buffett calls the best book on investing ever written, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Graham wrote this in 1949, and it's still the gold standard for value investing. The central concept is the margin of safety. Never pay full price for a stock. Buy it at a discount. That discount is your protection against being wrong. Graham also introduces 2 types of investors: the defensive investor, who wants safety and low maintenance, and the enterprising investor, who is willing to put in the time and research. Most people, he argues, should be defensive investors, because most people overestimate their ability to beat the market. The most famous concept from this book is Mr. Market. Imagine the stock market as a business partner who knocks on your door every day offering to buy your shares or sell you his. Some days he's optimistic and offers you a high price. Some days he's terrified and offers you a very low price. The intelligent investor ignores Mr. Market's emotions and makes decisions based on the actual value of the business. If you only read one book about investing, make it this one. Book 4, Atomic Habits, James Clear. This might surprise you on a finance channel. Atomic Habits by James Clear is not a finance book. But here's the truth: your financial results are a direct reflection of your daily habits. James Clear argues that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Most people set goals like, I want to be rich, but they never build the systems that make wealth inevitable. The 1% rule is the core concept here. If you get 1% better at managing money every single day, you will be 37 times better by the end of the year. Applied to personal finance, this means automate your savings, invest every month without thinking about it, track your spending every week without exception, read one financial book per month. Small habits compounded over time create extraordinary results. This is the book that connects the theory of all the other books to the daily actions that actually build wealth. Book 5, The Millionaire Next Door. Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, the final book on this list, destroys one of the biggest myths about wealth. We think millionaires drive Ferraris. We think they live in mansions. We think they wear designer suits and fly first class. The Millionaire Next Door proves that most of them don't. Stanley and Danko spent 20 years studying wealthy Americans. What they found shocked them. The average millionaire drives a second-hand car, lives in a modest house, shops at normal stores. The reason they're wealthy is precisely because they don't spend like we think rich people do. The book introduces a concept called being PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth, versus UAW, an under-accumulator of wealth. UAWs earn high incomes but spend everything they make. PAWs earn average incomes but live below their means and invest the difference. The formula is simple. Live below your means. Invest consistently. Time does the rest. This book will make you look at your spending habits in a completely new way. These 5 books are the foundation. They won't make you rich overnight, but they will change the way you think about money, and that is where wealth actually begins. Here's a quick recap. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Understand assets versus liabilities. The psychology of money. Understand your own behavior. The Intelligent Investor. Understand how markets work. Atomic Habits. Build the systems that make wealth automatic. The Millionaire Next Door. Live like a real millionaire. If this video gave you value, subscribe to Rich Pages. Every week, we break down the most powerful financial books and ideas in the world. The knowledge is here. The decision is yours. See you in the next one.